I had the dream I was walking down the school hallway, and then I see Butters and he's like, "Hey Eric, you want to see what my mom packed me for lunch?" And that's when I start to notice that something's wrong. Everyone I cared about has been systematically replaced. And finally, I want to scream and I'm like, why are they replacing every single character with someone who is diverse? But then Kenny's like, it's not our fault, it's because of Kathleen Kennedy. But then Kathleen Kennedy's just like, make it more lame. And everyone in town is like, no, please, Kathleen Kennedy, stop ruining everything. But Kathleen Kennedy is all like, put another gay diverse woman in it, make it more lame. And the Disney stock just keeps going down and down and down, and all like candy.
Welcome back to Celebrity. It's Olivia here.
She wanted to be a queen. Now she's a punchline. Rachel Zegler thought Snow White would launch her into Hollywood royalty. Instead, it launched her straight into satirical hell, and South Park lit the match. It started with a savage parody. No filters, no apologies. A fake reboot inside the show called Woke White, the Reinvention. Complete with a preachy, empowered princess who rejected love, mocked tradition, and declared she would lead with diversity, equity, and inclusion. Sound familiar? Audiences didn't have to guess who they were mocking. The voice, the tone, the rants, it was Rachel Zegler.
Before we peel back the layers of this wild unraveling, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe. If you love deep dives with no fluff, just facts, receipts, and a sprinkle of chaos, you're in the right place. And trust me, you won't believe how this one plays out.
The very same actress who openly trashed the original Snow White, calling the prince a stalker, the love story outdated, and fairy tales weird. But this time, the criticism didn't come from YouTube critics or angry Reddit threads. It came from South Park, and it came hard. The internet exploded. Clips of the parody spread like wildfire. TikTok, X, YouTube, meme pages. Reaction videos blew up. And at the center of the chaos, Rachel, staring down a digital mob in one of the most brutal roast jobs in animation history. But here's the twist. She didn't just ignore it. She tried to ban it.
You check under the bed and make sure there's no Disney executives under there.
Oh, not again.
Yeah, only this time, it wasn't just me. They were taking all my favorite people and replacing them with diverse women complaining about the patriarchy.
It's a brand new exclusive event with all your favorite South Park characters.
Dude, school is gonna be so awesome today. I had explosive diarrhea all night.
I like big boobs.
Oh, hamburgers.
How does this even make any sense?
It makes perfect sense. I think the problem is you.
So Snow White slept and waited for her prince to come, but he never did. Because a woman shouldn't have to depend on a man. Snow White was brought back to life by a lady doctor.
And she lived happily ever after?
Well, she couldn't indulge in strenuous activities like handball, but otherwise, she was fine.
That's nice.
After South Park aired Woke White, the Reinvention, Rachel Zegler could have laughed it off. She could have clapped back with humor. She could have ignored it completely. Instead, she doubled down and ignited a PR inferno. According to insider leaks, Rachel didn't just call the episode disrespectful. She went nuclear, demanding that the episode be pulled, pressuring Disney to intervene, even threatening legal action against the creators for personal defamation. South Park, the show that roasted Tom Cruise, ridiculed Scientology, and got banned in entire countries. Rachel thought she could cancel them? Within hours, social media turned on her harder than ever. Hashtags like #FreeSouthPark and #WokeWhiteSaga started trending. Memes flooded Reddit and X, showing Rachel trying to lasso Trey Parker and Matt Stone like a Disney villain. One viral post even said, South Park survived lawsuits from billionaires. Rachel Zegler thinking she can beat them is the funniest plot twist of 2024. But it gets worse, because the more Rachel fought the parody, the more people rewatched it. And the more they rewatched it, the more obvious the satire became. Not just about Rachel's Snow White, but about Hollywood's whole obsession with sanitized, preachy reboots. In trying to erase the joke, Rachel validated it. She became exactly the character South Park portrayed, thin-skinned, self-important, and completely missing the point. And Disney? They watched, horrified, as one of their upcoming movies got turned into a late-night punchline before it even hit theaters.
You think it's perfectly normal that Cartman is suddenly a black woman?
You probably don't like that Indiana Jones got replaced by a female either, huh? Probably have a problem with Black Spider-Man too.
No, make it more lame. That is exactly what they're doing And that is why we hate the diversity, equity, and inclusion casting and writing in movies.
At first, Disney thought they had an ace up their sleeve, Jack Black. Fan favorite, human teddy bear, certified box office charm. He was already attached to the Snow White reboot, playing a reimagined character meant to inject humor and heart into the story. So when the South Park chaos detonated, insiders say Disney quietly hoped Jack's likability would be the magic that shielded the film and Rachel from the storm. Spoiler alert, it didn't work, because no matter how many funny sound bites Jack dropped during interviews, no matter how many stay positive tweets he liked, the cultural narrative was already locked in. Rachel wasn't just seen as part of the Snow White reboot. She was the face of Hollywood's tone-deaf rebranding machine. And Jack Black, as beloved as he is, he couldn't scrub the internet clean. Couldn't erase the South Park episode that had already been clipped, memed, stitched, and tattooed into pop culture consciousness. If anything, his good-natured promo clips made the contrast even sharper. Jack's interviews were funny, self-deprecating, warm. Rachel's were defensive, smug, and at times downright combative. One viral TikTok even side-by-sided the two, Jack laughing about fairy tales being silly fun, Rachel lecturing about systemic problems with 1930s storytelling. The comment sections brutalized her. Jack gets it. Rachel thinks she's rewriting history. Imagine thinking you're fixing a story that's already beloved and ending up less likable than a cartoon parody. At that point, Disney executives reportedly knew there was no fixing this, no PR tour slick enough to spin it. Rachel wasn't just losing the fight, she was losing the audience.
All that walking made me sleepy. This bed's too hard. This bed's too soft. And this bed is just like the first one. Also too hard. I guess I'll sleep in the one that's too soft.
Yep, even though The Simpsons is technically part of Disney, that didn't stop them from going all in with their own savage parody of Zegler and the Snow White disaster.
Because a woman shouldn't have to depend on a man. Snow White was brought back to life by a lady doctor.
And she lived happily ever after?
Well, she couldn't indulge in strenuous activities like handball, but otherwise, she was fine.
That's nice.
At this point, Rachel Zegler wasn't just trending. She was imploding in real time. But instead of pulling back, regrouping, or even just logging off, she made one final desperate move. A last-ditch effort to reclaim the narrative. She scheduled a live stream. Not an interview, not a studio-crafted PR piece. A raw, emotional, real-talk live stream meant to show her side of the story. Spoiler alert, it was a disaster. What could have been a chance to connect, reset, maybe even laugh at herself, turned into a lecture. Again. Rachel doubled down on every stance, that the original Snow White was outdated, that people criticizing her didn't understand the assignment, that South Park's roast was dangerously misleading, and that she was the victim of online bullying and misogyny. The comments section? Savage. We were with you until you made this all about you again. South Park didn't ruin your career, you did. We get it. You don't like fairy tales, but you signed up to be in one. And then, the moment that sealed it. Rachel broke down on camera and said, "I didn't ask to be a role model, I just wanted to act." The clip spread like wildfire, but not for the reason she wanted. Because the internet remembered she didn't just act, she preached. She turned press tours into political soapboxes. She mocked the very character she was cast to bring to life. This wasn't vulnerability. It was a crash landing, filmed, streamed, and instantly memed. Even South Park couldn't have scripted it better.
What an idiot I've been as a young person in this industry who has no filter and no idea what she's doing.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business.
Weird.
I did not like Snow White. The reason why is that the actress that plays Snow White, she acts like a all the time.
Weird.
I don't need your business.
And everything I do, people will wait in line to see.
I don't need your business. Thanks.
You always want to tell a fun, exciting story, and every time I've ever made a movie, I go into it going, I want this to be the best movie ever made.
Or what?
They're leaning into woke. Hardcore.
They're petrified of some kind of backlash.
I wanted my money back. It was very disappointing.
Nobody wants a movie about true love. What kind of woman do we want out there seeking true love, Eliana? The outrage.
Every way that Disney changed the story, it changed it for the worse.
They are pretending like Rachel Zegler is the first of them all when she looks like Lord Farquaad in the film.
The new Disney boss babe, who is Rachel Zegler, the inverse of happy.
So she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
No one on the right side of America can stand the star of this movie.
The live stream ended. The memes multiplied. The silence from Disney, deafening. Rachel Zegler's meltdown wasn't just a bad PR moment. It was an industry alarm bell. One that rang loud and clear from Hollywood boardrooms to TikTok feeds. Because this wasn't just about Rachel anymore. It was about how broken the machine had become. Disney's entire strategy, reboot beloved classics, inject modern messaging, ride nostalgia straight to the bank, was exposed as hollow. Not by critics, not by fans, by the very people they hired to lead the charge. Rachel didn't just fail to carry the Snow White torch, she lit the match that burned the bridge. Executives are already scrambling. Leaks hint that Disney is now rethinking live-action projects, shelving some remakes, and retraining stars before press tours to avoid another Zegler incident. Behind closed doors, Hollywood insiders admit it. Audiences are done with fake authenticity. They're done being lectured by millionaires pretending to be revolutionaries while cashing studio checks. Rachel's career? It's now on life support. Casting directors, PR agents, and marketing firms have all taken note, and some sources say she's being quietly dropped from upcoming shortlists. As for South Park, they didn't just survive the controversy, they thrived. The episode mocking Snow White is now hailed as one of their sharpest satirical strikes in years. Because in the end, it wasn't South Park that canceled Rachel Zegler. It was Rachel Zegler that canceled Rachel Zegler. And maybe that's the real fairy tale lesson Hollywood forgot. You can rewrite the story, you can modernize the message. But if you lose the heart, you lose the audience, every single time. Drop a comment. Was Rachel misunderstood? Did South Park go too far? Or was this the brutal wake-up call Disney needed? Smash subscribe for more no-fluff Hollywood breakdowns. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next meltdown. Because in Tinseltown, there's always another plot twist coming.